Every cancelled Alien movie explored. It's no news that with a legacy that spans over almost 4 decades, the Alien franchise is one of the most influential film series which has left an indelible imprint on popular culture. It has established itself as the true titan of the science fiction world and has made its mark as a genre-defining force since its debut with the release of Ridley Scott's original in 1979. Over the years, the franchise has become a cultural phenomenon, captivating audiences with its iconic extraterrestrial creature, thrilling blend of horror, suspenseful storytelling, blood-curdling action, and unforgettable characters. However, despite its raving success, the franchise has also been marked by its fair share of cancelled projects that never saw the light of day. Despite this, these cancelled projects have been a major part of the franchise's evolution and have contributed to its enduring popularity and garnering its cult following. In this video, we will delve deeper into some of the most significant cancelled projects within the Alien franchise and explore their unavoidable impact on the franchise as a whole. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you. Now, let's begin. Joss Whedon's cancelled Alien 5, 1990. Joss Whedon, the acclaimed filmmaker and creator of the hit TV series Buffy the Vampire Slayer, had great plans for a 5th Alien movie in the late 1990s and was probably one of the first directors to try for a proper Alien 5 script. However, the project never really came to fruition, and it has been the subject of much speculation and debate among fans and industry insiders ever since. Although Whedon's script for Alien 5 was very well received and he was given the go-ahead to begin pre-production work, the project was put on hold when 20th Century Fox decided to make Alien vs Predator instead. The studio was reportedly concerned that 2 Alien films in a row might saturate the market, so they opted to take the franchise in a different direction. Apart from that, the studio was not convinced that the movie would be profitable, as the previous Alien movies had underperformed at the box office, so the studio was wary of taking another risk on the franchise. The project also stalled because of the creative differences between Joss Whedon and the 20th Century Fox studio. Whedon had a clear vision for the movie, but the studio specifically wanted more action and less of the character-driven storytelling that Whedon was known for. Furthermore, according to reports, Whedon's Alien 5 was intended to be a direct sequel to Alien Resurrection, the 4th film in the franchise, which was released in 1997. Whedon had reportedly pitched a story that would have brought Sigourney Weaver's iconic character Ellen Ripley back to Earth, along with the recurring xenomorphs in the mix. The script was supposed to cater to all the wrongs from the previous Alien movie and fix the storytelling by keeping Winona Ryder's character Anna Lee Call in the plot, but when the director, Jean-Pierre Jeunet, suddenly changed the entire climax of the 4th Alien movie, with the hybrid alien being sucked into space through a hole, Joss Whedon really regretted the order, as it put a dent in and overthrew his entire idea for the 5th installment of the franchise. Even though the movie was a financial success, it was not well received by fans or critics and had been criticized for its convoluted plot, cartoonish characters, and over-the-top action sequences. Some fans felt that the film had strayed too far from the tense, horror-infused tone of the earlier Alien movies, and they were skeptical about the prospects for a 5th installment. So Jean's Alien Resurrection featured a different tone and style as compared to previous movies, and it did not explore the same themes that Joss Whedon had introduced in his script for Alien 5. As a result, the studio decided to abandon plans for Alien 5 and focus on other projects. In addition to the shifting priorities of the studio, there were other factors that contributed to the cancellation of Alien 5. For one, Sigourney Weaver had expressed reservations about returning to the role of Ripley. She reportedly felt that her character had been played out and that there was nowhere else to take the story, but in reality, the box office failure of Alien Resurrection had left many in Hollywood skeptical about the viability of the franchise. Weaver also felt that the return to Earth would dilute Ripley's character and the aliens' impact along with it. She felt Ripley would lose all shreds of her humanity and become a single-dimensioned character, which is something Sigourney Weaver didn't approve of. Joss Whedon's Alien 5 remained in development hell for several years. Later, the studio started focusing more on the Predator vs Alien story arc, which completely overruled the validity of the existing storyline within the franchise. Despite Joss Whedon's enthusiasm towards the project, the production of Alien 5 was also complicated by the changing landscape of the movie industry. In the years following Alien Resurrection, the sci-fi genre had evolved significantly with the success of films like The Matrix and the Star Wars prequels, ushering in a new era of big-budget, CGI-driven spectacles. Some industry observers at the time felt that the Alien franchise was no longer relevant or competitive in this new environment, and that it would be difficult to generate enthusiasm for a new installment. Hence, it simply did not make sense for 20th Century Fox to invest in a film that might not perform well at the box office and had no potential to garner massive commercial success. Why did James Cameron's Alien 5 never happen? 2002. So Alien 5 is one of those mythical sequels that, despite never getting off the ground, still manages to spark fan interest from time to time. While several attempts have been made over the years to make a sequel to the iconic science fiction horror franchise, none of them have ever been able to come to fruition. One of the most notable of these attempts was James Cameron's proposed Alien 5, which was in the works for several years before ultimately falling apart. So James Cameron, who directed the iconic sequel to Ridley Scott's Alien, had been pretty interested in returning to the franchise for years. According to reports, during the early 2000s, he had been working on a script for Alien 5 with an unnamed writing partner. Cameron even spoke about this project in many of his interviews, mentioning that he had been collaborating with Ridley Scott on the script of Alien 5, which would have seen Sigourney Weaver's Ellen Ripley return to battle against the alien once again. However, despite Cameron's enthusiasm for the project, Alien 5 ultimately never happened. According to the director, the project fell apart when Fox executives approached him with a script for Alien vs. Predator, a crossover movie that would pit the alien against the Predator, another renowned sci-fi monster. Cameron reportedly saw this project as a shallow gimmick to feed on both the franchise's joint success, and was unwilling to be associated with it because he felt it would damage the Alien franchise's credibility. As a result, he ultimately backed out of the project, and sadly enough, the James Cameron version of Alien 5 never came to fruition. Now, this decision was a significant one, as James Cameron had always been the driving force behind the Alien franchise since the release of Aliens. The director had redefined the series with his sequel, introducing new elements like the Alien Queen and the Power Loader that have since become iconic parts of the franchise's mythology. His involvement in Alien 5 would have been a major boon for the project, and many fans were excited at the prospect of seeing what the director would do with the franchise. While there have been other attempts to revive the franchise over the years, none of them have been able to capture the same magic that Cameron did with his seminal sequel. Despite Cameron's departure from the project, there were still rumours that Alien 5 might happen at some point in the future. In 2011, it was reported that director Neil Blomkamp had been working on a new Alien film, and later it was confirmed that it would serve as a direct sequel to Aliens, whilst completely ignoring the events of Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection released in between. Neil Blomkamp's exciting Alien movie that never saw the light of day, 2011. Neil Blomkamp's cancelled Alien movie, which was set to be the first sequel in years, generated a lot of excitement among fans for the franchise. With Blomkamp, the director of District 9, known for his eccentric take on the science fiction genre and his talent for body horror, he felt like the perfect choice to helm a new Alien movie. However, despite the positive reception that his ideas received from the franchise's fans, the project was ultimately scrapped because the release concept art was not approved. Now, on the 1st of January 2015, Neil Blomkamp posted many posters of concept art on his Instagram account, which seemed to detail the potential plot for a fifth installment of the Alien franchise that he had been working on for quite a while. The concept art was met with a lot of enthusiasm and excitement from the fans. However, what many people are not aware of is that Blomkamp had paid a commission for the creation of the images without taking any prior permission or making any official request from Fox. This means that the entire craze of an Alien 5 movie was sparked by just a glorified art made by a fan. The involvement of Sigourney was announced. Mapping the initial positive reaction to the shared concept art, the progress of the film appeared to be moving at a reasonable pace. Blomkamp announced on Twitter in February of the same year about a conversation with Sigourney Weaver, who played Ripley in the original Alien movie, about her potential involvement with the project. Apparently, she quickly became attached and was most likely the deciding factor in getting the possibility of an Alien 5 movie approved by Fox. Before the end of the month, it was revealed that Blomkamp and Weaver had pitched the idea to Fox and had received the green light to go ahead with the sequel's production. the potential story arc set for this sequel while keeping old favourites in mind. Although the details of the story were not fully revealed, the project was set to take place after the events of James Cameron's Aliens. The concept art released by Blomkamp showed the return of a more muscular Ellen Ripley, who was set to return to the Alien universe after having been absent for over 2 decades, indicating that the movie was going to ignore the events of Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection. In addition to Sigourney Weaver's well-built Ripley, Michael Biehn's acid-scarred Hicks was also set to return to the film, even though the character died in Alien 3. The other actors who were rumoured to be involved in the project included Sharito Copley, who had worked with Blomkamp in District 9, and Bill Paxton, who had played Private Hudson in Aliens. It was also rumoured that Blomkamp had been in talks with Lance Henriksen, who played the android Bishop in Aliens. One of the most exciting aspects of Blomkamp's proposed Alien movie was the new designs for the xenomorphs. Apparently, Ripley was supposed to face a new type of xenomorph called the Alien King, who would also lead to a new breed of genetically engineered extraterrestrial soldiers to battle. Blomkamp had worked with the conceptual artist Jeffrey Thorens to create updated versions of the iconic creatures. The new designs were sleeker and more biomechanical than the versions seen in previous films, and fans were eager to see them in action. The sequel was finally shelved. Unfortunately, the excitement around Blomkamp's proposed Alien movie was short-lived. Despite the positive momentum generated by the project, this Alien sequel was ultimately cancelled in 2017 by 20th Century Fox due to Ridley Scott's Alien prequel series. The studio decided to prioritise Scott's vision for the franchise, which began with Prometheus in 2012 and continued with Alien Covenant in 2017. This decision meant that Blomkamp's project was effectively shelved. While some fans were disappointed, others argued that Blomkamp's vision was too different from the previous films and wouldn't have fit well within the existing continuity of the Alien franchise. Is Alien Awakening officially cancelled, or is it happening? Although there has not been any official news about a new Alien movie, fans have been eagerly waiting for a continuation of the Alien franchise. Ridley Scott, the director of the original film and the prequel of Prometheus, has expressed his ardent interest in making another movie in the series. Despite rumours of cancellation, there is still hope that a new Alien film will finally be made. In 2012, when the science fiction film Prometheus hit theatres, it received generally positive reviews and earned a whopping $403 million worldwide. This movie followed a team of scientists and archaeologists on a mission to explore a distant moon in search of the origin of humanity. However, the crew is forced to fight for their lives when they encounter terrifying creatures on the inhospitable planet. 5 years after Prometheus, director Ridley Scott returned with Alien Covenant, a sequel to Prometheus that further explored the events leading up to the original Alien movie. Now, this film decided to follow a group of interstellar colonists who decided to land on a nearby planet after their ship was damaged mid-flight. They believed that the planet may be more habitable than their original destination, but soon discovered that they are in grave danger from the ever-evolving xenomorphs. It's important to note that despite the success of Prometheus, Alien Covenant received mixed reviews and only grossed $240 million worldwide, falling short of studio expectations. While the movie did have its supporters, it did not achieve the level of success that would have guaranteed for a production of another sequel. After the release of Alien Covenant, there were a few updates regarding the future of the franchise, likely due to the movie's underwhelming box office performance. Apparently, Alien Covenant's ticket sales dropped by 71% during its second weekend, and Fox announced that 2 planned sequels would need to be re-evaluated. In 2017, rumours of the sequel's cancellation began to circulate shortly after the movie's release, with fan site AVP Galaxy citing a user named Human Media who claimed to have worked on Alien Covenant. Now, this Human Media lad stated on the Blu-ray.com forums that the sequel to Covenant was scheduled to start pre-production that month in Sydney, but was ultimately cancelled due to the poor box office results. This user also alleged that a warehouse full of production items had been auctioned off, indicating that there were no immediate plans for a sequel and thwarting expectations of a lot of fans. While Human Media's claims have not been really confirmed by anyone, there are indications that it may hold some truth. Fox's hesitancy to move forward with the planned sequels and the lack of official news about the franchise's future suggest that the next Alien movie may have been cancelled or put on hold. But it's worth mentioning that before the release of Alien Covenant, Ridley Scott expressed his hopes for the franchise's future, stating in an interview with Fandango that if the film was successful, there would be 3 more prequels to the original Alien. He later reiterated this sentiment in an interview with the Sydney Morning Herald, expressing his eagerness to continue expanding the franchise. However, despite Scott's enthusiasm, Covenant did not perform as well as its predecessor, putting the future of the series in doubt. The uncertainty was further compounded by the Disney-Fox merger that took place in 2019. Nonetheless, recent reports indicate and have affirmed that Scott is still working on the project, though information regarding its status remains scarce. Based on the information available everywhere, Ridley Scott's upcoming Alien film is literally shrouded from the world, but the tentatively titled Alien Awakening is set to continue where the previous installment left off. The survivors of the RJ-6 have been put into cryosleep by David, and the plot of Awakening is speculated to revolve around the engineers hunting down David and his xenomorph embryos as they head towards LV-426. This is the planet where the crew of the Nostromo find the xenomorph eggs at the beginning of the original Alien film. Reports have confirmed that Scott and screenwriter John Logan have developed the script for Awakening while they were still working on Covenant. It was further revealed that the film is meant to bring the franchise full circle, with Scott suggesting that it would go from Prometheus to Awakening to Covenant. However, this timeline seems to contradict the reported plot of the film, which suggests that it takes place after Covenant before the events of the original Alien. When the Blu-ray version of the Alien Covenant was released, it added an extra short film to hint at the next rumoured Alien movie. The short film, Advent, served as an epilogue to the events of Covenant and shed light on David's motive for creating the xenomorphs, which is to create a queen that will allow the species to continue without his intervention. The film will continue to showcase David's dark experiments, and it's likely that Daniels, who is housed in a tube at the end of Advent, will serve as a pawn in David's scheme, although her exact role is unclear. Awakening is set to take place before the first Alien film and will further explain the lore surrounding the xenomorphs and scientific excursions that preceded those in Alien. It is no news after this that Michael Fassbender, who played the role of David in Alien Covenant, will inevitably be returning to reprise his role in Alien Awakening. Fassbender has expressed his interest in continuing to work with Ridley Scott and in playing the character of David. Apart from that, Catherine Waterston, who played the lead role in Covenant, has also expressed her desire to return for Awakening. Given that her character, Daniels, is the last to interact with David in Covenant and the epilogue short film Advent hints at her involvement in David's plans, it is highly likely that Waterston will be asked to return. However, Waterston has mentioned that she is not certain about the status of the film and is generally unaware of the developments in her career. But in a recent interview regarding the status of the sequel to the movie, Catherine Waterston stated that she has no idea about the sequel and believes actors are usually the last ones to know. However, she is hopeful that her character will have a significant role in the sequel, but acknowledged that she could also just be rolled away in a body bag. Now, with Disney's acquisition of Fox soon to be completed and Ridley Scott busy with other projects, it's becoming less likely that we'll be able to see a new Alien prequel movie anytime soon. In addition to this, the mixed critical reviews of the prequels and the possibility that Scott may never complete his planned series could lead to Fox reassessing how to continue the franchise. This could even surprisingly include taking into consideration Neil Blomkamp's script, a full remake, a soft reboot, or a potential revival of the AVP property. The Alien franchise is also taking a new direction under 20th Century Fox, now owned by Disney, with two major projects in development: a new Alien TV series by Noah Hawley and a standalone Alien movie directed by Fede Alvarez. Both of these projects are expected to take the franchise in a new direction, moving away from Ridley Scott's original prequel vision. So although we have a fixed title at hand along with somewhat confirmed rumours of Ridley Scott working towards the Alien Awakening movie, it's a bit frisky to determine if the movie would come to fruition, and even if it does, it's clearly not happening anytime soon. In conclusion, the Alien franchise has seen its fair share of cancelled movies, with various projects being abandoned for a variety of reasons over the years. While some of these movies could have potentially been great additions to the franchise, despite these setbacks, the future of the Alien franchise does look bright, with new projects in the works, including a new TV series and a standalone movie. With this, we come to the end of our video, so please tell us about your opinions on these cancelled movies from the Alien franchise down in the comment box below. Which ones did you really look forward to? Which ones would you like to see revisited? And if you like our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.